Hello everyone, it's Miss Vincent here, and I'm just here to make a short video about what your children in Year 3 and Year 4 will be learning about as part of our PSHE curriculum in Summer 2, so after we come back after the May half term. So I'll just get my PowerPoint up to share with you. So as part of their PSHE learning, we will be teaching the children what we call the SRE curriculum, which is just short for relationships and sex education. I know sometimes as parents that can feel a little bit daunting, just the terminology used there. But rest assured, as we go through, you'll see that all the things that we teach, we really thought carefully about what age and stage the children are and what's appropriate for them to know at this age. And everything that we thought through has really thought about the children needing to know this just to safeguard them, to make sure that we're keeping them safe. So just a little bit of background about the SRE curriculum. So the SRE curriculum was made compulsory from September 2020 in all schools across England. And the key focus is just on teaching the fundamental building blocks the children will need, like I said, just to keep themselves safe. And also the characteristics of what a positive relationship looks like, whether that be a relationship with your neighbour, your friend, family member, or partner, just what that positive relationship might look like. I just wanted to clear a few things up because I know there's been a lot of media coverage recently about the SRE curriculum, and I know there's been the government saying that gender identity is explored within primary schools. I just want to put your minds at ease that we don't, in Year 3 and 4, we don't touch on gender identity at all. It's not something that we cover with the children, so that's not explored at all, just so you know, so that your mind's put at ease there. So this curriculum, just so you know that it's very consistent across schools. How this curriculum was developed was the schools in what we call our DG group, which is all schools within the local area, got together and decided what we felt was appropriate for the age and stage of the children for them to learn in the RSE curriculum. So I've just put a few of the different schools that would have got together and decided this together as teachers. It's just kind of just put your mind at ease that whether your child's at another school down the road, Stokes Woods perhaps, that we'll all be learning the same things. All of the objectives are the same. The only thing that will be different is the individual teacher or say slight changes in how they deliver that. So we know that everyone's consistent and everyone's learning the same thing within Year 3 and 4. So we begin, so I'm just going to take you through now what the individual lessons look like and what the children will learn. So we begin the year by recapping their previous knowledge. So if the children were in Year 1, 2, we will recap their knowledge of knowing the correct names for the parts that make boys and girls different. And within that, the key vocabulary that we'll teach are words such as penis, vagina, and testicles, just so that they know if there was ever any need for them to make a disclosure or to make sure that they're keeping themselves safe, they know those technical terms that they could use with a professional or a doctor or somebody like that. And then we also recap from Key Stage 1, knowing that privates are private, and we look at the pants rule that they would have learnt in Key Stage 1. And we also talk about knowing how to share a concern if we feel uncomfortable. Who are the trusted adults that they can go to, and how might they have that conversation and start it off. And then from Year 1, 2, we also just recap on what's a good secret to keep, but also what secrets should be shared with others, and that sometimes there are good and bad secrets and some things shouldn't be kept secret. So we just explore that. But again, it's all recapping from Year 1 and 2. And you can just see at the box at the bottom some of the key vocabulary that will be taught throughout that. So once we've recapped, because we feel that's really important as part of our curriculum parts, keep going back to prior learning, making sure that they understand that. So once we've recapped what they already know in Year 1, 2, we then go on to the lessons. Now, in Year 3 and 4, it is split separately. So Year 3 learns slightly different to Year 4. So the children that are in Year 3 this year will learn these things that are on the Year 4 side once they get to Year 4. So I just thought I'd start off by saying the Year 3, 4 RSE curriculum is quite a bit of an overlap really of PSHE and science. It's quite a lot of science, biology based, you might think, if you were thinking about the 3 strands of science. So quite a lot of scientific terminology that they'll be looking at. So in Year 3, we start off, once we've recapped the knowledge from Year 1, 2, We look at knowing how babies grow and develop in the mother's uterus. So we'll be teaching the word uterus, but also how the babies do this. So knowing that they get nutrients from their mum through a cord, and that's as far as it goes. So that's just knowing that the baby develops in a mother's uterus. And then lesson 2, we look at, again, knowing that privates are private. So recapping that pants rule, but then also looking at, well, how do we then, if we know that they're private, how do we make sure we keep ourselves safe? So that's the extent of year 3 learning. And then as they move into year 4, they will learn about knowing that some of their personal characteristics have come from their birth parents. So knowing that if they've got blue eyes, that could have come from mum or dad, and their hair colour, height, and things like that. And that comes from birth parents. And then in lesson 2, we look at knowing how puberty affects boys and girls as they grow. So we'll look at things like, and you can see some of the vocabulary down here, which I've just specified next to it if it's year 4. We look at things like hair growth in areas like underarms and things like that, boys, voice deepening, the fact that your sweat glands open and you may develop body odor and how we deal with that. So a lot of personal care and things like that that they might need, especially as they get to year 4 and then moving through 5, 6 and into secondary school. We look at the fact that boys and girls, but boys more so, develop more muscle. We talk about hormones and things and how our moods might change a little bit and that is normal, and how to deal with that. Facial hair and things like that. We talk about Adam's apple. So we look at changes that both boys and girls get, but then the different changes that girls and boys might experience. And then we also look at knowing that privates are privates and how to keep myself safe. So that's, again, another lesson from year 3 that we just think is really key to keep coming back to, especially in year 4. And I've just put at the bottom just a few, and at the top here, just a few of the images that we'll be sharing with the children, just to show how the baby grows and develops in the mother's uterus, but then also a little picture just to show them how the baby grows once it's in the stomach. Year 4 will go a little bit beyond the stomach, so how you grow once you're then out of the stomach, and then the just some images there that we share with the year 4s just to show the different changes that they might go through during puberty, and that's as far as we go with the SRE curriculum. So there's a few of the vocabulary there you might want to look at just to see. I have put next to it if it's just a year 4 word as well that the year 4s will be exposed to. But as I said, please come and see us. We're happy to chat, or if you've got any questions, worries, you feel like you've got any concerns or something that you feel like as teachers, your class teacher needs to know before going into the lessons, please just come and see us. After school is usually better than morning, but you can always drop an email to the email address for the school office. And if you just put in the subject for attention of Miss Vincent or whoever your child's class teacher is, feel free, if you want to send them to me or to your child's class teacher, we'll be happy to get those answered for you. So the school's email address is office@parks.leicester.scu.uk, and if you just put in the subject who it's for, we'll make sure we get those answered for you. Thank you for joining us and for taking an interest in what the children are learning in PSHE, and we hope it's been very informative and helped ease a little bit of your worries or answer any questions that you may have had. Thank you.